Jenny Weiss, Chad Anders, and Mailman Matt.
That's not the way on my screen. You pointed across and
don't get into this now.
I don't know how it's supposed to be.
Which way did he go? This way, this way, this way?
Guys, I can make it go however you want to. Don't focus on this too much.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Fix it for me to make Matt look bad, please.
I think that Chad should be in the middle because it's like he's separating the two of us to...
He is the peacemaker. Yeah. He did call us both this week so we would stop arguing over it.
And I wasn't even arguing that much. I didn't think.
Me neither. I think Chad's just sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
So, folks, hello.
Yeah.
We're
here. Folkland.
We're inviting you into our personal, intimate conversation. And we're going to kick it off by reading this wonderful comment from Eric T. Peterson.
Hey! Eric.
If you're in the group, you know him, you love him. He's the reviewer.
What group?
He said...
You got to clarify what group.
The Nateland fan page Facebook group.
Nateland podcast fan page. Actually, get it right, okay? Eric T. Peterson. Folkland First Watch Post. Intro episode. So he's reviewing our intro episode. Great to meet some folks in person. I really enjoyed it and laughed almost half as much as the first Nateland podcast. Hey!
Almost.
I don't know if that's saying much. Just let's be honest.
Oh, the first episode's my favorite.
Okay. All right.
So this is a Facebook post about the podcast, about the comedy of comedians, labeled as an educational podcast. I'll probably start a new podcast about my own Facebook post about the podcast about helicopter approaching.
Great comment.
I don't get the helicopter thing, though.
He's saying that like he's just being distracted by like anything. Kind of like how Nate during his stand-up. Have you not seen the Greatest Average American?
Well, I've seen it.
Yeah, and how like he's doing his bit and like the helicopter just kind of comes out of nowhere and he's like, wait, here it comes. He's like, oh, that one looks...
Maybe you should watch it again when we get done here.
Yeah, Jen, it's a pretty pivotal part of the...
Yeah, I'm talking to Jen.
Of his stand-up.
A lot of helicopters.
Okay. Anywho.
All right. Yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
We got another comment here. These are comments from the intro post. Pergellum. Is that how you say it? Pergellum, you think?
Maybe it's a soft J. Helum.
I'm gonna go with
he's from Copenhagen, so there's really no way to tell how they pronounce stuff there.
He might be one of my favorite folks, honestly.
Oh, dude, he's so funny.
He comments often, and his comments are gold, Jerry.
Yes.
He says, hello, folks. I feel this place might present a better chance of getting our comments read on air for all of us. Well, congratulations. You're the second one. The huddled masses, the undesirables, the ones whose names shall ne'er be mentioned, and to have our insights shared with the larger public. What you've initiated here is nothing short of miraculous and is a beacon of hope.
There you go.
In these times of unrest and general brouhaha. Keep up the good work, folks. All hail President Weiss and her court gestures.
Classic.
I might have picked that comment just for that.
No, I'm glad you read it.
I feel like you added that.
Great.
I don't remember that being a part of the original comment.
It was there.
You can go check the record.
It was there. I got her back on this one. I thought that was so clever. I didn't even mind.
Speaking of famous folks, we've got Vincent Gonzaba.
Yeah.
Hope that's how you say it, Vincent.
If not, he's your arch nemesis.
First time commenter. I appreciate the fact that the podcast is predicated on reviewing each week's episode of Nateland, but no mention was made of this week's episode of Nateland. This might be a controversial stance, but we all know Jen attacked Matt first.
Boom!
Getting a little Star Wars.
Yeah, okay. All right. You're not the only one that caught that. Or, sorry, I should have said I'm not the only one that caught that. Good job.
You should have, but it's fine.
Whatever.
We're already seeing signs of her out of control ego. I mean, she wants to interview herself. Let's go, folks. Hey, I'd like to point out that Tristan Swang is fan of Just Jen. So
he's it.
What?
That's it.
Fan of what?
Just Jen.
The Just Jen contraption she came up with in her mind, where her multiple personalities are interviewing each other.
How did you come to know that he is a fan of that?
Matt, you're an administrator on the Facebook page,
Okay.
and I feel like you miss so much quality content.
He commented on the post
Okay.
Chad did, and he said, "Waiting for the Just Jen podcast or
Gotcha.
Just Jen link or something." Dot dot dot.
Okay. So Chad's post may have gotten lost under one of the 50 posts of that dead horse video.
Oh my god!
I
Hey,
swear.
this
It's
is
like
a
people saw
official
that and were
Folkland
like, "Oh, this is
podcast.
Nate Gold," and just shared it. And I'm like, "Yeah,
Official Folkland announcement. Please stop sharing the dead horse video. You know that video is from like months ago. People shared it then, and it just keeps getting.
Well, I think a lot of that falls onto the administration of
yeah, oh yeah, I
the
don't
Facebook
care."
page.
I don't have anything to do with that. I just
You
have a
know,
fake title.
I like the if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Just keep scrolling on by. I made up the last part just now.
That's too
You
much.
sound like somebody's dad.
I'm two people's dads, so
Rusty's journey. You asked us what we want to see/hear on your podcast, so I came up with what I would like to see. First things first, in the About section of your YouTube podcast page, you mentioned Jenny and Chad, but nothing on Matt. Does he know he's temporary? Matt, do you know you're temporary?
on what?
We'll get to that in a second. Just keep reading.
Couple of my thoughts. Since I only have a couple of thoughts each day, this will be everything I have. Love the idea of this podcast being about a podcast. I know you made a previous video that was not made public. I'm not sure you talked about how you guys met. I got the impression that Jenny and Chad don't know each other very well, such as not knowing of how old he was. Perhaps I'm wrong. As we get to know a little bit about you, it allows us to become invested in you being invested in all things Nateland. Of course, we want it to be about Nateland, but a sprinkle of Jenny, Chad, and Matt every so often makes your podcast personal. What is it about Aaron, Brian, and Nate that makes you tick? I'm not sure I get that, but reading comments on what others post about things discussed on your show is great as well. I wish you all the very best. I've been a fan of Nate's comedy for a very long time. Thank you, Jenny, Chad, and the mystery man, Matt. That's because he is uncredited in the About section.
Apparently.
So I really think Rusty's got a bone to pick with us.
Let me clarify real quick, because I actually just sent in our messenger group a screenshot of the About Me section on YouTube. And Matt, what I did is I put your tagline from this video and from your drinking cup, the M with the @ symbol.
Yeah.
So I didn't spell your name out, Matt, but I copied what you seem to call
You put
yourself.
Matt, like Matt.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah.
Rusty just thinks it's a typo, I guess.
Yeah, so well,
there it is.
I don't want to assume he thinks it's a
doesn't-
typo,
no.
but
Whoop, there it is.
Maybe he needs to go back and watch the video and catch the hints. I don't know.
Man, don't
But we
call it
do-
Rusty like that. I appreciate his comment. It's
Well,
very
he's on
it's
a
very
journey.
good.
Rusty's on a journey.
On a journey.
So it's all
Rusty's
good.
journey.
Hey,
That's the podcast I wanna
breaking
see.
news right now. It's breaking news right now. It won't be by the time this
All right.
video comes out. So it's like Brian announcing that last night there was a, I don't know, meteor shower or whatever it was. But right now, Brian just shared on the Facebook group that he is now on Cameo. So
No
What's
way.
you don't know what
Cameo's an
Cameo
app.
is? Oh.
Cameo is an app where you can pay to get personalized messages from celebrities.
Oh yeah, I have
Yeah.
heard of that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's that breaking.
So Brian's
Well-
on there. I think it's breaking. It just happened. So it's
Let's not get too
breaking.
far off of Rusty's comment real quick, because
Oh, I
he
thought we were
put
done
some
with
really
him,
good stuff
sorry.
in here for us to discuss.
Oh yeah.
We want to talk about how we met.
Okay.
So
So
there was
when Jen was about 4, I started babysitting her, and no, that's not true.
I'm terrified where this is going.
Mathematically,
You
that
don't
actually
remember?
works out.
Yeah,
but,
it
And he
kinda
was
works out.
already 70.
Jeez. All right.
so
No,
Jen and
it's a
I,
good story.
Jen's mom and my dad live kind of close in Florida. And one time I was traveling from Texas, where I'm from, and Jen was traveling from, I think it was Mississippi at the time. to
Mhm.
visit her mom, and I was going to visit my dad, and we actually crossed paths
In a waffle.
In an Alabama Waffle House, and she
Is
said,
this
"Hello,
true?
folks," and I turned and looked, and I was like,
Yeah.
No.
"Let's
This
go,
is
folks," and she goes,
Yes.
no.
"Hey,"
Y'all are
and
making
Matt
this
was
up.
working at the Waffle
Matt,
House. Matt
you
was
were
the
No.
cook.
there
Oh my
behind the grill
gosh.
smoking a
I've been in a
cigarette.
Waffle House twice. This is what y'all were discussing before I got on. Y'all were
Yeah,
just gonna.
yeah,
Oh man.
the origin
We're making
story.
up a
No,
story.
Jeez.
the
I
truth of
was
the
like,
matter
y'all are
is
making this
actually,
up. I didn't know this.
You were so into it though.
I was. I was
Rusty,
like, what? Y'all had a
here,
wreck with each other? What happened? Waffle House is
here's the
about the
truth.
same.
Rusty, um, Chad is my 7th cousin.
that might actually be true.
No, just kidding. We met on the internet. We met in the fan page group.
Yeah, all of us.
I think we did talk about how we met. It was through the comments of that one post. I mean, I hated you before that, but
Hmm.
that really
Oh,
kicked it
y'all,
off.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't
And I
hate him.
have
Just
no. I don't even hardly think about you. So.
I'm sure.
I've
Zinga.
got
I'm
I've
sure your
got
wife
lots of group
appreciates that.
messages
Yeah.
to disprove that. All right. Chase Newman said he's looking forward to the first live show when Folkland airs during Aaronland during Nateland.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm
I
not
think
quite sure I know what that means, but
I think it
I
means
think
they're going to
that
invite us onto the podcast to be a guest.
well,
yes.
and if not even that, maybe we'll get to one day, prayerfully, we get to record an episode at the table.
Oh, at least
I
maybe
don't
they
think they
could
can take
send
all
us
of us,
each.
though.
They could send us the background to use
It's going to be
from
Yeah,
one of
that'd be
them.
Zaney's
nice.
recording.
So we're going to have to fight for it.
Fight for what?
Y'all can have
They,
it.
they can't take all of us to go record on
Oh,
Nateland.
sure they
So it's
can.
only one of us.
Sure they can.
No, that won't fit for sure.
Oh, it'd be fine. It'd just be like a
Jenny,
longer episode
I volunteer you.
as tribute.
Thank you.
It's because you're
I'll
not
accept
married.
it.
They haven't had a lot of. Well, okay. They haven't had a lot of female guests, so that would be kind of cool.
They've only
It's
had
true.
one. One.
Well,
Two.
technically two.
Laura.
Oh.
Laura.
Yeah.
Laura.
Laura.
The
Laura.
Laura.
All right. Well, um, yeah. This is all kind of out of order, but
Yeah, it is.
somebody mentioned in the comments on the Dinosaurs episode, um, how they like watch Nateland. So
Uh-huh.
I had a question. What's your Nateland routine? How do you guys watch it? This should help Rusty out, get to know us a little more. How
That's
we
fair.
Nateland.
Who wants to go first?
I just watch it on YouTube. Usually on the drive to work, during work, on the drive home from work.
So you pull an errand and watch it in your car.
Yeah, I even have this mount on my phone, so I
Uh,
can go full screen this way.
You know that's supposed to be used for like Google Maps, right? Not for
No, I have maps going at the same time. Yeah,
Oh,
they
good.
they
You have
pop
to
up and I just swipe them out of the way.
wait. You have to map yourself to work.
Okay, but you don't understand because you live in like a hick town, so I live in the big city,
Mhm.
and you
So
want to know traffic.
ATL.
it's hard for you to remember all those turns.
You want to know the traffic because there's lots of traffic. I know,
Mhm.
you don't understand. Though.
Matt, instead of
Yeah.
bashing her routine, what's your Nate land watching routine?
I was bashing her driving. I
That's fair.
get up Wednesday mornings and watch it. This last Wednesday, I was up really early because I woke up and was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to go back to sleep." So about 5:45, I went and plugged in my headphones to my Roku remote, so I wouldn't wake up anybody else in the house, and started it up. It was good.
Is that
It
how
was
it
a good time.
works? You plug your headphones into the remote?
Yeah, some Rokus. Not all Rokus have it, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's nice.
That's
Would you
So,
look at that?
earth shattering. That's great. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's not bad. So I also have they're not like that legit, but it's the lights that go behind your TV, And so I have a certain setting that is like it gradiates between red and blue, And so I only have it on that setting on Wednesdays because that's Nate Day. And I think that goes best with the podcast. It's a whole thing, trust me.
Nate Day. That's
But,
awesome, man.
yeah, dude. So
I want to make fun of you, but I can't because it's actually kind of cute.
yeah.
I love the commitment. Like I really do.
So,
Thanks.
Chad, what about you?
It kind of varies. So Wednesdays are pretty busy for me. I'm a youth minister. So if I get up early enough, which I normally do to work out that morning, I'll put it on and like do cardio and watch it. If I don't finish it at the gym, which a lot of the times I don't because it is usually pretty long, and I'll kind of mix it in during my lunch break, but I definitely finish before I go on Wednesday night. So it's kind of spread out, kind of like Jen, kind of throughout the day. But it sounds like Matt has just Nate time cut out in his morning, which is must be
Well,
nice.
I try to. I mean, I don't always. This last week I finished it by like 8 something, but I don't always do that. Sometimes I, have to pause it to go change a diaper or something.
Do your kids watch it with you?
I mean, they're not watching it. No, they're 3 and 1, so they're playing and stuff. So
Can never.
Do you
never
feel like,
welcome
Chad,
them
that
to
it gives
folkhood.
you? Do you feel like it gives you good material if you watch it before you preach? You get anything out of it?
I'll be honest. I've I've yet to mention Nateland from the pulpit, but not saying that it would never happen. I'm sure I can use it as an illustration.
yeah.
You don't ever
Dinosaurs-
quote it though?
Yeah, I say that's fair a lot from the pulpit. I don't really know if that's a complete hat tip to Nateland or not, but
when you first greet your students, so you're like, "Hello."
do I say
folks?"
hello, folks?
Yeah.
I caught myself I did that last week. I did do that last week. I was like, "Hello, folks," and they were like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Who's this old guy?
You wouldn't get it.
Hello, folks.
Yeah. So.
All right. So they also talked about wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah.
I do have a pretty embarrassing story for you.
Okay.
But first, you guys ever had anything? Wardrobe malfunction?
Not anything serious. I mean, I've spilled something on my shirt before or something like that, but nothing
Terrible.
major.
Nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks
that
for the
was
question,
great.
though. Yeah.
So, just hey,
you.
for the folks at home, if you didn't know, we mentioned something in the intro video about me doing the princess thing, or we alluded to it, but I have done acting and performing and all that kind of stuff. So I work for a princess company. That's why we said all that. So, one time I was
Like
directing.
that's such a foreign concept to me. So you say you work
What?
for a princess company, like there are multiples
There's
out
multiple.
there,
Yeah.
and that
there's
just blows my
networks.
mind. I had no idea.
There's a network.
There's networks. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm actually working for a sister princess company whose Elsa canceled on the last minute, so they're calling in a ringer.
Wow.
A brunette Elsa. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, I definitely wear my own hair for it.
So wait, you don't wear? Does that hair come off?
I wear a wig.
Does that hair come off then?
My hair?
Yeah.
No, Matt, it's not like your hair, okay?
All right, that's fair. I'll give you
Sponsored
that.
by Keeps.
Bro. Okay. Anyway, so my wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
So you can make fun of me some more. This one time I was directing a musical. It's called 4 Tickets to Christmas. And it was terrible. It was, maybe I shouldn't say this, but it was awful. And I played a lady who played the church piano in the show. And it was like I had no lines or anything. I just played the piano. But I had a big old long skirt on, and my costumer pinned it for me, except she didn't. So when we did our curtain call, I walked out there, to do my bow. And when I bowed and came back up, my skirt fell to the ground. And I just went and had to pull it up. I had tights on, but I still couldn't get over the fact that 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 happened. So I hid backstage, and they had
Yeah.
flowers for me, and they wanted to do a whole thing, and I was
Oh,
like,
man.
forget it, I'm
So-
not coming out. You'll never see me again.
Oh,
So
man, that's rough.
sometimes it happens, Speaking of rough, weight loss challenge.
Yeah.
Not
Wonder how
going
that's
so hot.
going.
Nate does not
Yeah.
even know how much he weighs. But
He's-
I
but
kind
he's
of
on the road with his barber, so I'm sure it's going great.
thought maybe we should get in on it. What do you guys think?
Oh,
Man,
you
I'd
think
be
so?
down.
Yeah? What about you, Matt? What are you
Yeah.
thinking over there?
I mean, if y'all want to lose, are we putting something on the line here?
If we want to lose,
Yeah, I mean, we're doing a weight loss challenge, so if you want to lose, then
Yeah, it can't be like who loses the most. I think we would need to like set a goal, and whoever gets to their goal the fastest.
no, I don't
Because
think
Matt's
that's
point
healthy.
is he's saying
No, it's not healthy to lose a ton of weight really fast.
well, no, it's not. But
You just do it by body percentage or whatever. You don't,
but
you don't have to do it
you're
by pound for
if
pound.
if I understand correctly, your point to Jen was like, you're like, well, I mean, if we're trying to just lose weight, like we can just drop some pounds, like.
Well, that is one way to take what I said, but I was meaning like if we're gonna lose weight, then we're all gonna lose. You know what I'm saying?
No.
all right.
Because
So
it's a weight
we'll...
loss challenge. You're losing weight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so
Hey,
we're all
Matt,
gonna
when you have to
lose.
explain your
Yeah.
jokes, they're always really good. I just want you to
See,
know that.
that's when
Good
you
night.
know that you've just been dadding it up for too long.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with that. Look, I've been on well before I had kids. I've been on this dad train.
When
Dad jokes are the best. So
when my child's born here in a few months, do they hand you a packet with
It's-
dad jokes at the hospital?
no, it just comes natural. Like I didn't. Honest, congratulations. I did not know your wife was pregnant,
Thank
but
you.
also, no, it just comes natural. It's like mother's instinct. You just get it as a dad. I think.
I've had that since before being a mom, because I'm not one. I was saying that like I am.
And that's why
Yeah,
you
I
would be the
can-
one to
yeah.
go on Nateland because Matt and I have responsibilities. You're just free floating out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I probably do more stuff than either of you ever would do. So I'm the president, so it's a pretty big job.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Anyway,
Matt, you want to talk about Chris Farley?
no, I don't. I didn't put
Oh.
that in there.
No, Nate's comment about when Aaron was like, bro, he's like, man, it'd just be so funny if you came back like 300 pounds. And Nate's like, yeah, come back and be like, I'm doing a different kind of comedy now. I'm going the Chris Farley route. And I was like, R.I.P. Chris Farley.
Yeah.
R.I.P. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
really
Fat
funny.
guy in a little coat.
Oh man.
He
So
was-
we watched. We you can't find Tommy Boy anywhere. I think I have it on DVD, but I didn't feel like looking for
Really?
it. Yeah, it's not on any. I mean, it's not in. You can't stream it anywhere unless you could rent it or something somewhere. But so I recorded it on YouTube TV, and when it recorded, we watched it just like a week or two ago, and they cut out so much just to edit it for time. Not
Oh,
that
man.
Really?
the stuff that needed to be cut out, like that it's that bad of a movie or anything. But I was so disappointed, and they cut out the almost half of the fat guy in a little coat bit
Oh,
and
get out of
all
town.
kinds of stuff. The
I just don't get how you
Did
cut that out.
all that.
Did they
got
cut the
out.
part when they're like saying goodbye to each other and he's like, I'm gonna miss you, man. Especially you, and they like go to pretend to make out.
Oh no, that was still there.
Good.
That's my favorite. I don't know why. Me and my sister, like growing up, so this is terrible, but we would watch all those movies. Like they just come on TV, and so we knew them by heart. And when that scene came on, we would always reenact it. We thought it was so stupid.
Mhm.
So every time we say goodbye, we're like, I'm gonna miss you, man. Especially you.
That's good.
That's funny.
So I
Memories,
gave
you
you a lot
know?
of memories. Yeah,
Really takes me back.
that's funny.
I could have just said that when you read that up. I could have just said memories, man.
Don't worry, we'll get the memories here in a moment too.
Yeah.
Science.
They were pronouncing
Yeah.
like the
Like science.
do you think the guy who invented the word like originally thought that it was going to be called science, and they were like,
No,
no man, no man.
definitely not.
But I wanted to say there was the commenter who talked about how do I get my fiance more into podcast, and Nate was like, I would not start my dive into podcast with this podcast. I got into podcasts because of this podcast. Like I never listened to podcasts prior to Nateland.
Oh, I think he meant with this episode.
Oh,
Like
I
he
don't
wouldn't
know.
start here on this episode. I think that's what he meant.
You think so?
Well,
I thought
either
he just
way,
meant
I
all
mean,
of Nateland. Like
yeah,
start
I
with
thought he
Joe
did
Rogan
too.
or something else, not Nateland.
Yeah,
That's
but
how I
still,
took it, but it didn't matter.
Nateland is how I got into podcasts, and I've listened. I listen to several now. I used to be a big music guy,
Yeah.
like 46,000 hours a year. Thanks Spotify for letting me know that. And but now it's
Sponsored by
Nateland and
Spotify.
a few others, but yeah, sponsored by Spotify and Keeps.
Yeah, I listen to like Focus on the Family, like lame stuff, like podcasts, you know. Just a lot of Christian podcasts. I listen to like a Bible commentary one every day. But
Okay.
Nate Land's like the only one I like, you know, I'm like, oh, I gotta listen to this.
Yeah.
The other ones are just like, all right, I'm driving, so I'm putting it on, you know.
I enjoy I'm a big sports guy. I played college baseball. So I enjoy like the Pat McAfee show, but sometimes it gets a little too raunchy for me. I always turn it off and go listen to another episode of Nateland. So
Yeah.
but
So
Thanks for not sinning.
Yeah. Aaron now listens to more podcasts while he drives, he mentioned. So I guess he's off of West Wing now. So good for him. Jen, though, on the other hand, is watching TV shows.
So you just wanted to skip my podcast routine as far as what other podcasts I listen to?
We just didn't really care that much. But...
Okay.
Hey, Matt, what else do you listen to, man?
Nothing really.
Anyway, moving on. So
no, I Nateland is always what I'm listening to. I just started re-listening through it all, and so some of the other podcasts I listen to have taken a back seat. So I'm not current on those, but like, you know, I listen to Office Ladies, the Off the Beat thing with Kevin or Brian Baumgartner. Before it was Off the Beat, it was the Office Deep Dive, but he finished doing his Office thing, so he's doing another. If y'all are watching, the Parks and Recollection podcast is not that good. It's just it's all right.
Hey. Let's not take shots at other podcasts here. Okay?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think you have any room.
I think they're trying to be Office Ladies, and they're just not. So,
I kind of feel like this is like when like they were talking about Aaron was a whale, like that was his animal.
Yeah,
and it was like you just need all the room, but this is the opposite. You don't have any room.
Yeah,
to take a shot at them.
So and then Knowing Faith again. I was never caught up on that, but I was making some headway, and then I started re-listening to Nateland. Also, I did the Rise and Fall of Mercy Hill. I don't know if y'all got into that or not.
I saw it.
Love that podcast.
I've never heard it.
It was very, very well done.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's about the rise and fall of Mars Hill Church
out of Seattle.
Mark Driscoll was a pastor there and stuff.
See, so Jen, you and I came to faith a little later in life. So we weren't really aware of all that going on. Matt was him and Moses walked together through the Red Sea. So everything.
I heard it. What year was it that happened?
So Mars Hill officially fell in 2014.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about it. I was that was like when I started following Jesus. Yeah, for real.
And then I want to plug this. I've only listened to an episode or two, but JC Lee Pulford that does the Batesville Instagram post.
Yeah,
she has a podcast called Hello Awesome, and
it's great plug.
She does a good plug. She does a good job on that. Again, I only listened to like an episode and a half or so, but it's really I thought it was good.
Maybe that can be the next podcast that we review each week.
Yeah, after we finish Nateland, we'll just review hers.
I'm not doing this for anybody else. All right.
Ooh.
Look, my
Wow.
fee is 18,000 per episode. So
Oh, I was like, a
Doll
year?
hairs.
That's
18,000
nothing.
doll hairs.
years.
So yeah.
Bartholomew.
Hmm.
This,
Who put that in there?
I did because, like, man, I just want to start with this episode had me rolling. Like, the last month and a half or so, they've been working through some stuff, but this felt like OG episodes, like them talking about a subject that they know and care nothing about.
For
They
sure.
were having fun with it. As a listener, I was loving it. I love Nate. You know, he was talking about here, you know, trying to roll words off. He was like, you can't just be throwing words like Bartholomew in there. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't just come flowing numbers around. He's like, I don't know what that means. And then start talking about the hooked on phonics. And Brian Regan was one of the first comedians I ever listened to. So I was like, man,
He said phonics wrong. He was like,
yeah,
hooked on phonetics.
phonetic. and Aaron's laughing. He's like, no, phonics, bro. So
Phonics.
I thought that was really funny.
Oh, it is funny. I liked
But
how. Sorry, go ahead.
no, please, man. After you.
I was just gonna say I liked Aaron on this episode. Just I thought because Dusty was there with him, and I mean Dusty was a groomsman at his wedding, and so I thought that was just I don't know, maybe it made him feel like all my boys are here. Let's just have a good old time. I don't know. It was just like he
I
was
feel
bringing
like
it, and I enjoyed it. I was here for it. So
I agree. I feel like Aaron and Brian were kind of like dads, and then Nate and Dusty were like two kids who were just
yeah,
being really stupid,
yeah.
and the dads are just like, "That's my boy. That's my boy."
It was so funny. It was really good.
All right, my chair is making this noise. I
Oh,
want to just let everybody know I'm not
okay.
farting in Folkland. It's my chair. Okay,
All right. All right.
That's what they all say.
it's my
No,
nightmare.
Jen,
I fart on air and
Jen,
then
you were talking a second ago about the memories that comes back up with you and your sister quoting Tommy Boy,
yeah.
and it just made me think again about like this episode. Nate's comment about breakfast watching shows with his dad and how it brings back memories, and
That's why I
he's
said
giving him a
it.
hard he's giving him a hard time, and Brian's like, no, like just makes me think about like times when I'm sitting there with my dad and we were and Nate's like, that was really sweet. That's what you should have said. You should have said it brings back memories. Then moments later, he's like, yeah, me and my family used to always watch the Andy Griffith Show. Really brings back memories. And then he goes, idiot. Just, sucks to be breakfast, I guess.
I love it when Nate says "idiot."
Oh, yeah.
You bunch of idiots. He also said like, you ain't gonna get none of that. Or, like, do you know what I'm talking about? He said a bunch of like real country sounding phrases.
Yeah.
Those always get me.
Well, and then he calls that the Liam and his dad flew all the way to a show and couldn't get a ticket.
Yes.
And then he goes, yeah, well, Liam's too stupid to buy a ticket. So you called him stupid after you butchered his last name.
I
and he
was kind
flew
of
to your show
questioning
and couldn't get
Liam,
in.
man.
Yeah. So much for the nicest guy in comedy.
But I mean,
But he
how
did
are you
say
gonna
they'll need
fly
him.
down from Winnipeg and
That is
not
kind of stupid.
have a ticket?
Hey, don't bring Liam into this, okay?
I'm just saying. When we went to Nashville, I didn't book a hotel before we had our tickets.
That's a
You
good
know?
call. That was a good call
Liam,
on you.
Unless he had
Liam.
other business in town.
I want to talk to Liam, guys. Liam, we're gonna give you a ticket to the first Folkland live show
Yeah, we are.
on us. All right.
On us.
Like we're not
We won't
Probably
pay
paying
for
never
your
for
flight.
him to fly or anything, right?
Well, I'll
No,
fly. I'll
no
pay for
flight
your
or
flight.
hotel.
You better not miss it though.
We'll get Bates to Uber you there.
So we have to
Uber
record
Bates.
it in Nashville? Okay.
Yeah, that's where
All
the first
right.
live one has to be, right?
I mean, if we're going to go to Mecca, let's go to Mecca.
What?
I don't know. It's like the Mecca of Nateland, right?
Are you
Nateland
calling-
is Nashville, isn't it?
Oh.
It's Vandy. We're
Never
going to
thought
do it on
about
the 50-yard line of Commodore Field at Vanderbilt.
You might as well be like speaking French. The Bargatze cut.
Yeah.
Who put this in there? Who put this in there? I think I have the Faith Hill hairdo going on today. You know.
Yeah.
No, hers
got-
was cut that short. Like it was.
Yeah. It is
pretty
accentuating your great ears, though.
Thank
Nate's
you.
like,
I'm very proud
no,
of them.
I'm mentioning Nate. How referencing Nate? How he's like, she's got great ears.
I thought you were trying to make me feel bad, so I was like, I'm gonna play it up. I'm gonna be like, yes, thank
your
you.
ears are fine. Your ears are fine.
No, Jen, this
Thank you,
podcast
Nick.
isn't about us, okay? It's about Nateland.
I'm not making fun of your ears.
I don't know. I'm just trying to balance everything, okay? You know, Rusty's like more you, and then that one guy was like, she's crazy, you know. So I'm just
Yeah.
trying to find the balance. You know?
Yeah,
It's all
that's
good.
fair. That's fair.
What would the names be for your haircuts? I mean, I guess obviously our names, right? You'd be the Chad.
For like Chad's
see-
haircut would be the Chad.
But like
Chad,
my
yeah.
hair doesn't really. I mean, there's like the
But you gotta show the
stigma.
folks. You gotta show
There's a stigma around the name Chad. It's like a frat guy,
the Chad.
and like I don't feel like I have that persona. Like,
Is your hair in a bun right now?
yeah,
You did play baseball though.
yeah.
Is it in a bun or a ponytail right now?
It's
Well,
in a
now
bun.
it's down. Well, then you
Oh,
can
now
be
you look
Chad.
like you're in the band Korn.
I've gotten the guitar player from Maroon 5.
I
you
don't
seen
even know
him?
what that is.
I've
You
heard
don't
of
know who
Maroon 5.
is?
No, I don't know their guitar player.
Oh.
Definitely don't know
Nobody
their guitar
knows
player.
anybody but Adam Levine.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. I'll throw his picture in the episode. But
Okay.
I've gotten Thor a lot. Jason Momoa, of course.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
My doppelganger.
you should pull that up.
Yeah,
Pull
I will.
that up.
I'll throw it in
And
here.
I'll read the comment. How about that?
You'll have
I
to
made
do
that
it post.
video.
But it's
I
right
made
here
that
right
video
now.
before
Oh,
we
look.
before we even like made Nateland. I like made that
Yeah.
video, and so I'll throw it in here.
What video?
He posted it earlier in the Facebook group. You know, for you
Yeah.
being the president, Jen, you sure do miss a lot of things.
Jen laughed at it.
Joke's on you,
Well, she didn't
mailman
remember.
Matt.
Okay, Kenny.
It's okay.
Anyway, no, I thought you were gonna show the screenshot of that post in the group. About
I will. I'll put it.
Of the
oh,
four
the-
pictures, yeah, he can show
Oh,
that
you're
one
not
on here
gonna-
too.
screen share it.
No, not on here. I'll just post it when I edit.
Well,
But
I'll read it. How about that?
that sounds good.
So we're talking about doppelgangers. Who posted this again? Some lady.
You got the
Um,
comment.
No, I copied and pasted it into the notes. I don't.
It was Brandy Coy.
Okay.
Yeah,
So she wrote-
name.
Chad might look kind of like Aaron, but he also kind of looks like my nephew Zach, who kind of looks like Jason Momoa. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Mama?
No, stop. You can't.
How do we get here again?
Can't, not again.
All right, she said, What I'm
Jason
saying-
Mama.
what I'm saying, folks, is that according to this new development, Aaron Weber is only 4 degrees from kind of looking like Jason Momoa.
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 Momoa. Momo. I
Mama.
can't say it.
Mama, get in here. Jen can't speak.
You're doing it all wrong. You're doing it all
Ah.
wrong.
I
Well,
don't care. I like it.
You gotta get more high pitched at the end of your sentence. Try it again. You gotta do it again.
Mama, get in here. Anyway,
Oh, goodness.
my gosh.
That's
Woo!
something.
All right. Anyway, she finishes it with "Run with it, Aaron. Run with it as far as it will take you," which I thought was so funny. Congratulations and congratulations to Chad on that 3-2. Because you're 3 separations away.
Yeah.
Is that what she's saying?
Because it's Aaron to Chad to her nephew Zach to Jason Mama.
Which
yeah.
brings us right into what Chad wants to say.
You
on the
know,
matter.
ever since I've started to appreciate Jen and Matt's relationship, you know how there's just someone who just, really makes you tick a little bit, not in the best ways. I'm looking for my person in this group. I think I found him. It's
Do
Sarah.
share.
Sarah.
Sarah is she's my Matt. She's the
So you're the girl in the situation, and she's the guy.
Yes.
Okay.
When you put it like that,
Sorry, Sarah. Sorry, you had to find out like this.
she's the Jen to my Matt. Okay, is that better? So she made the comment. She goes, I think we can streamline this more and have Aaron just bypass Chad and skip straight to Zach. And Matt, you actually responded and said, I was thinking Chad should be switched with Zach. So
Yeah,
Aaron, Zach, Chad, Jason, thank you.
Yeah, because you look at those pictures, you look more, I think you look more like Momoa.
Thank you.
Cross between Momoa and Zach than cross between Aaron and Zach.
From like mid chest up, I agree with you. So anyway,
I was just thinking the eyes.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah.
You stared at his eyes.
That was a very bad angle that Brandy chose. Me mid laugh. Everyone else is posing for their photo, and I don't have the.
But you're laughing, so your eyes are squinting up, and so is Momoa's eyes. So
well, anyway,
it worked. I liked it.
We won't get into why. But yeah, Sarah.
My favorite thing was your sad little comment. That's a bad angle. ... You're like when like when you take a picture, like a group picture, and you look terrible in it, but everybody else looks great, and your friends don't care. Like they're gonna post what looks great of them. Yeah, and that's what that was like.
Well, it's because I was gonna go into a whole thing, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna save it for the podcast. So I was gonna be like, you know what, Sarah? You know what? But I didn't do that.
That's all you were gonna say is you know what? It's would have hurt your feelings.
I think you need to name names here. You have not said her last name yet, so there could be a Sarah out there thinking you're talking about her, and she's like taking offense.
Sarah Chia?
Chia.
There you go. Chia.
Chia.
Like the pet,
like a chia pet, yeah.
Chia.
Sriracha, as she came to be called during the baby shower. Somebody said, every time I see your name, I want to call you Sriracha. I think it was Cat.
It actually makes a lot of sense.
Cat Hill, and I was like, she's Sriracha now. I like Sarah Chia. She's the bomb.
She is cool. I did feel a little attacked though, but
hopefully you'll cry about it and you'll be okay.
Well, and my beard was also, I needed to trim up. Anyway, moving on.
Maybe she's looking for her Matt.
Well, good news, Sarah. Here I am. Me and Sriracha going at it.
Maybe you need to rephrase that, bro. Oh my gosh.
I'm married. That's not what I meant. Anyway.
Ryan Murphy. So Ryan Murphy commented on the Dinosaurs episode.
Wait.
And
okay.
I
thought Ryan Murphy was somebody else.
It was a great way to get into it. So I'm just going to push forward here.
Good call.
Watching Aaron sit there and trying not to comment about science while Dusty and Nate doubt about things we actually have on hand. That dinosaurs died a long time ago. Hold on. Okay, no.
That dinosaurs died a long time ago.
Watching Aaron sit there and trying not to comment about science while Dusty and Nate doubt about things we actually have on hand. That dinosaurs died a long time ago. Is the perfect version of the Nateland podcast. I think I nailed it.
Yeah.
I like that comment. I think it sums it up.
I mean, that's a great summary of that episode.
Great.
Yeah, it's pretty fair.
I noticed a lot of made-up words in this episode, so I started a little list.
You misspelled that. At the top would be
condescendingly.
No, he said condescendingly.
Condensingly?
No, there's an N after the first E. When he said it, he said condescendingly. Can't even say it wrong.
Condescendingly. I thought it was like he was saying descend in it. Condescend. That's how you normally say it.
Condescend. He was saying condescendingly.
Yeah.
Condensingly. Well, I said it right.
Like condensation, but condescendingly.
Well, it's great news that I thought he was saying it wrong, and he. Wait, I'm just gonna move on. Stegosaurus. Great name for anybody who drives a
Taurus.
Ford
Dude,
Taurus.
that was so
Yes,
funny.
they're old.
He kept saying it, and Aaron's like, no. And Brian said, I think that's a car.
The Ford Stegosaurus.
Ford Stegosaurus.
Stegosaurus.
You say Ford?
Stegosaurus.
I thought you said Ford. Wait, what's the word for what's the book called? A thesaurus? I thought that's what you
Yes.
said. Ford thesaurus.
Ford thesaurus. Like Saurus Agorb. Ford thesaurus.
Hey, Sora, if you're out there, man, we'd love to have you on the podcast.
Sword.
Oh, yeah.
Turler, where you at?
Yeah,
I'm
Turler
trying to
and
hunt
Sora.
Turler down.
If we can, you should get a PI, private investigator.
Oh, that's
Anybody
what that
out there
is?
wants to volunteer their times?
What do you mean? That's what that
you,
is.
see, you should get a PI, private investigator. Like, yeah, I think we all know what a PI is. I don't know.
Maybe some people don't. All right. Could stand for pie invention, and that's
Hey,
people say that a lot. So
real quick, I just got a text from from my pastor's wife, who just commented our intro video and said, "That's why we're sponsored by Subway and Chad's Church."
Awesome. We never named the name of the church. We just said
it's
it
called
was
Chad's Church. That's
We're
the
not
name.
going to. It's not my church, so it's the
Well,
Lord's
It's
church.
Chad's
Anyway, moving
Church.
on. Dude, the Stegosaurus comment that Nate made, he was like, "Yeah, no one's gonna want to go in there."
What?
I missed that.
Come on.
What?
Stegosaurus.
Uh-huh.
He like said it again later, but he said Stegosaurus, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna want to go in there."
That's awesome. Ugh.
Also, we have the recreation of the word civilian station to
Yeah.
now just be civil station.
Civil station.
It's a much friendlier place, a civil station.
It's like and it gets to the point quicker, like gimbership.
Yeah,
It's the point much quicker.
I thought you said gibbership.
Gimbership.
Jimbership.
Like gym membership, but
Gimbership.
gimbership.
I thought it was funny though that Nate corrects Bates to do a throwback to the civilian station, and he still doesn't say the right word.
Typical.
I think he knew he was saying that wrong, or he knew there was some link there, and he still got it wrong. But he was like wanting them to bring it. It's so funny. Oh man.
Well, Chekhov's gun. This is where I check out because I
Okay.
didn't get this one.
Have you not been in theater? I thought you mentioned earlier that you were in a play one time.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
Like I
this definitely
studied
should
it.
apply
Like
to you.
I.
This
Yeah,
is
like I've
that
done
thing
it.
that Aaron brought up when talking about you
Oh.
can't place like the two stools on there and not use them because
That's right.
it's a Chekhov's gun situation. So he made this statement, and basically he wrote to different playwrights and authors and stuff saying, "Hey, you can't have
Aaron
that gun."
did?
No, Chekhov.
No, check
This
out.
is Chekhov.
I
So
was like,
we're diving deeper
missed
into this
this.
Chekhov thing.
Oh, great.
So he
What?
and Anton Chekhov is the dude's
Great.
name, and in several letters he wrote it several times in some variation. I'm not going to read them all, but basically it gave 3 examples according to this. There were 3 different examples, and all of them had to do with an actual gun. So it's like you're not mentioning any other detail about this person's play, just the gun situation. So like I'm starting to wonder, what is Chekhov's deal with just the guns mentioned? Like, you just want guns firing in all these plays? What's going
Well,
on here?
I think Chekhov's whole thing
I think the
is
bigger question is who cares what this Anton Chekhov guy has to say?
Well, apparently
That's
he was a
also fair.
respected guy during his time.
I think
Yeah.
Chekhov's whole point though was like, if you're gonna have a gun on the stage, it needs to be used. So he was very pro Second Amendment, I guess.
He was. I mean, and
We
it's
had
like,
a
say your scene is set in a hunting lodge, and there's a gun hanging above the fireplace, like you would think in every hunting lodge.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna have to fire that thing. Come on,
Nope.
man.
In
but
every
you want
setting,
him to.
every
Oh,
time
yeah.
you're in a hunting lodge with people, you must fire that gun.
I mean,
that's
you want to
every
have
time.
you want to have like a Beauty and the Beast situation when they're in the bar before this, and they gets the gun and he shoots it and everything.
Let me just tell you what went through my head. You said you want to have a Beauty and the Beast situation, and instantly my brain was like, Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
There's no guns firing in Beauty and the Beast. What are you
No.
talking about?
During the bar scene, when it talks about how what an impeccable shot he is or whatever.
Oh, are you talking about the new movie?
No, I'm talking about the
We're talking
old,
about
like
the OG.
1989 Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast.
Don't tell the Princess Company that I don't know this, but I do have a.
Well, you
We
play
talk
the
to them
new.
pretty often.
You play the newer characters. You're not playing those old.
No, I play Belle.
Okay, well, I was trying to help you out here, Jen.
Well, there's no helping me.
You should
So
re-listen
you-
to the theme parks episode because
You embody Belle.
they down talk the old princesses. They don't sit at the same tables with the new princesses.
I did enjoy that episode. What did you
Okay.
just say about me, Chad?
That you embody Belle. Like,
What does that even mean?
if I were to be like, which Disney princess does Jen look the most like? I'd probably be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
Like,
probably Belle.
Brown hair.
You don't have to wear a wig for that one.
Andrew
No,
French,
you
right?
still do. You still do.
Oh, you shouldn't.
Your hair doesn't look as good as a princess wig, just so you know. Not just
I
you,
think
Matt,
my
but
hair
anybody.
looks better than a princess.
I have a story about a gun and a play. You ready?
Okay.
So I was in this play called The Bad Seed. I couldn't remember it.
Yeah. The Bad Seed.
You heard of that?
No.
I was the mom, so I'm like 20 something playing some mom. And
the kids call you Mama.
Mama, get in here. Was that better?
my daughter was a serial killer, so that now I'm just picturing her walking in the room. Mama! He's dead! Mama!
He's dead.
Anyway.
I killed him.
That was so creepy. She was like killing people and it was driving me crazy. I had a mental breakdown on stage. It was like the most dramatic role I ever did.
Wow.
And we get to the end of the show. She had just like burned someone alive in a barn. I mean, it was a crazy scene.
Jeez.
And I'm like reading her a bedtime story on the couch. And then I like give her these sleeping pills and I walk off stage and then they like shoot a cap gun from backstage. So it's like alluding that I like shot myself.
Oh.
And the Friday night, it was like the night before the last night of the performance, that gun goes off and the crowd cheers.
No.
Woo! Yeah!
What?
Let's go! And I was like deeply hurt. Like, why did everyone cheer when my character killed herself?
Yeah.
And then like the lights come up and they're like, it's after my funeral and the dad is with the daughter. And so everybody was like they thought that was the end of the play. So they all stood up and cheered. And I was like so mortified.
Yeah.
That's a great Chekhov's gun example right there.
Except
Like
there
the
was
gun
no
was-
gun on stage. But yeah,
That's even more strange.
you should only shoot the gun when it's not there. That's the new.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin talking about throwing stones in glass houses. Y'all know that bit?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Dimitri Martin's comic used a lot of props, I guess, like Aaron. But anyway, he talks about, how people always say only, those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. He's like, how about nobody throws stones? It's like, actually, what if you're trapped you're living in a glass house and you're trapped and you need to get out? So, or maybe the saying should be only people living in glass houses, if they're trapped and need to get out, should throw stones. So it's like, it doesn't flow as good, but
I love that you
Dimitri
brought up
Martin's
Aaron's
hilarious.
props though.
Oh,
I'm going to be really disappointed if when he and Brian come to Atlanta that he doesn't have a million things on stage. Like, I'm really looking forward to that.
4 stools, 3 mic stands in case,
I want to be
they
a
fall out
10
of the
pools
crowd.
deep. I want a pool table on the stage.
When Nate was like, "Good night, what are you doing up there?" He's like, "I'm just trying to survive up there, man. Do whatever I can." I was like, rolling.
No, his bit about he gets to he starts doing theaters and he's like, "Do you need a mic stand?" Yeah. How do you think I started doing theaters?
All right, butt brains.
Oh yeah. So before you say what you're going to say about that,
Matt.
how long before somebody?
I said, all right, butt brains, and you started talking.
Yeah.
Because you're the butt brains.
Idiot.
Yeah, we all get it, Jen. Golly. I'm just wondering how long. I was so excited to say something before you said your thing. How soon before somebody calls Brian butt brains? Like
Oh,
in the
I think it's already
comments. Is this
happened.
going to happen? You think
Next
somebody's already
episode, yeah.
commented? Oh,
Here's
great
what I want to know,
podcast.
guys. Has
Aaron,
Brian
Nate, and
ever
butt
been called
brains.
this? Has Brian ever been called? Hold on, let me find it.
You sure you want to
Beanbag.
share it? Beanbag? Yeah, I think so.
I'm sure he has.
I thought so.
What else you got?
That's it.
Do you have a
That's it.
list of bee names that you're going to write in?
No, I was reading a message someone had sent me and called him Beanbag, and I was like asking them, has he ever been called that before? Or is that new? So I was just curious if you experts knew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Bartholomew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Bartholomew. All right, butt
So,
brains.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. This is never gonna get old.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. The origin
Yeah,
of
I'm
the
on board.
phrase.
You can call me your court jesters. You can call us butt brains. I don't care. We're here for it.
Sponsored by
Anyway,
Chick-fil-A.
moving on.
The origin of the phrase butt brain is my new favorite discovery in life. I think it was the funniest thing about the whole show. And I don't think it's an insult anymore to call someone a butt brain, you know?
It's true.
What do you guys think? It's a compliment.
Well, it kind of means that they're so big that they have to have two brains. So it could so very well be an insult.
Well,
I
so
will spit that everywhere.
I read quite a bit of articles today in preparation for this, and
on butt brains.
No, just the whole podcast, the whole thing.
Okay.
But
I don't believe you.
Well, I did, and not just on
all
butt
butt
brains.
brains. All butt brains.
It was just a bunch of butt brain YouTube videos, to be honest. But no, somebody
The
somewhere
dark side of YouTube.
either heard or read, but it was saying they thought that because the lower part of like the spinal cord had like more, I don't know what the term is. Probably should have wrote it down, but it had
Brains?
more of a an area for the stuff to pass through. I don't know. But anyway, so apparently that's common in humans as well. So the bottom of our spinal cord, we have a area, and I'm sure people in comments are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a neuropsychologist or something," and they know.
I don't think neuropsychologists are watching our podcast about the podcast.
You don't know what they're doing in the free time.
Their butt brain.
They gotta decompress. They gotta decompress somehow, you know.
Well,
anyway,
so
I thought
the same reason
Dusty's thought process of like maybe it's just his prostate. And I was like, that's a very good point. I don't know if dinosaurs have prostates, but if they did,
I don't think that is a good point because
how would they know?
Well, he was talking about how like if there's another mass that looks like a brain on the lower end of the body, he was like maybe it is prostate, and I was like,
oh yeah, I gotta be honest. I don't even know why they Yeah, I don't know the facts behind that at all.
Yeah, I shared
Which
it.
I think Matt was trying to share the facts, but we're.
I said what the theory behind that was.
Matt, please continue.
That was it. That was the whole thing.
Oh,
that there's some kind of a system in the bottom of their spinal cord that also humans have. So to call somebody a butt brain isn't too far off. If you're gonna call it, say a dinosaur has a butt brain.
Would you look at that?
But that, like they said, that myth has been debunked.
But you would only say that if someone offered you a lot of money to keep being a scientist.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That was also one of Dusty's comments. Is he was like, "How many brains does a dinosaur have? 1. What if I gave you a lot of money for it to be 2? Well, I want to stay a scientist, so sure."
So yes.
Which I think.
Do we want to get into these other dinosaur myths?
Let's get into it. I think it's a good. It's a good. What's the word? When you when you talk about something without talking about it, like illusion or something.
Yeah.
The butt brains conversation was a good allusion to modern day science stuff. You know what I mean?
Science stuff.
You know how like
Yeah.
every day they're like, you wear a mask, don't wear a mask, you know, all the different, it changes every day.
No.
Like it's like good to see that it's real. Like that really does happen with other stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Jen,
Dinosaurs
don't forget,
hunt
we live in Texas.
in
So
their
I don't
butt.
want to get taken off of YouTube for saying the wrong
Oh
thing
my God.
or anything or demonetized. But you're saying what we've observed from 100 and 200 years, whatever it's been since we've been discussing dinosaurs, and the changes and conclusions from very small evidence that people have made and then debunked over the last 200 years. You're saying the microcosm of what we've seen in society over the last, say, 2 years is a reflection of that?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know what you just
You
said.
summed that up nice. Real smart sounded. That was good.
Well, I threw the word microcosm out there. I guess it just made all my rambling sound smart.
I mean, you didn't know what minutia meant the other day when I said it,
Oh,
but
I knew what minutia meant. I was trying to give you a hard time for using such
you're
a big
shocked
word.
that I knew what it meant?
I mean, kinda. If you're
Anyway.
the
What's
mate
your other
of our
dinosaur
group,
facts, Butt Brain?
dinosaurs were all big.
He just answers to
Dinosaurs are what?
They were all big. They weren't all big, apparently, according to this article from
Apparently
the
they're
Guardian.
hummingbirds.
And we can put this in our show notes, right?
We
In the
have those.
description. You can click the description below to check this out for yourself. They were stupid. They were slow, or for that matter, super fast. Just
So
because
neither
Jurassic
of them, they're
Park.
not slow or fast.
I mean, they weren't
They
super
just walk
slow.
normal. They
Like
just walk.
dun, dun, dun. They weren't necessarily that, but they also weren't. Velociraptors might not be able to hit 60 miles per hour like Jurassic Park said.
Like
They
a
drag. You
like
know
a
how you've.
stegosaurus.
Here's a big myth that you've probably
Goes
heard your
0 to
whole life.
60.
Stegosaurus.
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 You know the myth you've always heard your whole life about how dinosaurs drag their tails on the ground?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I think everyone
Well,
talks about that Christmas.
that's not true. I was like, who's ever heard of this myth? I was reading this, like, what the heck? It's like we've seen their footprints, and there's no tail footprint behind them, basically.
It's crazy.
See,
So-
there's my theory too. Is maybe they didn't have tails at all because if they had tails, then their footprints would have been covered up by the tail if it was dragging on the ground.
Right? That's my thinking. Why would you not want to? If you had a tail like a lizard, why would you not drag it behind the ground so predators couldn't chase you?
So maybe no tails.
It's like
Maybe you just
when you're
wanted
running from somebody that's chasing you in the forest, and you take a stick and you spread
Hey
the
Matt, I have a
leaves out
question for you,
behind
man. How
Yeah.
often are you getting chased in forests? Is my first question. For you to have
More often than
In
you think.
Stegosaurus.
I mean, believe it or not,
You are out there in
happens.
East Texas, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of trees,
we're not that far from Louisiana, so
and Arkansas.
You know, I think you'd
yeah,
put
we
your
do have a
tail
lot of
up
trees.
if you wanted to survive because you could run faster if your tail was up. If you're not, dragging a
That's
tail
probably
on the ground.
the dinosaur footprints that we have fossilized now is probably what they saw the asteroid coming, and they were like, "Let's get out of here." Not
Tails
like
up.
lift tail and run, don't tuck tail and run, and they just lifted it up and
Well, it
took
was probably
off.
more of like they like picked their tails up. They were like running.
I can see that. I'm trying to. Yeah, I like that. Probably,
It's a
unless they
theory.
had to like grab their kids too.
That makes me as scientific as most scientists, right there. That
Yeah.
theory.
So
This is
there's a
stupidest
few
crap
other
I've
myths.
heard.
You can check out the article and read them if you want, but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's some real butt brain stuff right there.
Yeah.
So I did like Dusty's concept of like, why don't we spend more time looking in the ocean before we start going into like outer space? I was
Right.
like, man, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I
that's
think the
good.
ocean terrifies me.
Yeah.
You can't see it in it. It's not my land. It's not obviously because it's ocean, but it's not my like I you know what I mean? Like I can't breathe under there. It's not. I'm not.
You
from
could
there,
back when you
know?
were a dolphin.
Yeah.
Back when you were a dolphin, you could.
That
If
was
you
never a
started
dolphin. I'm going to tell you that
spending
right.
time in water now, and
You've
then
heard
let
me
your kids
laugh, so
spend
maybe
time
a
in
little.
water.
Maybe I was a dolphin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So
ocean
Nate's
is
theory
just.
that we could Nate's theory that we could possibly train our children to one day be able to
yeah,
breathe underwater if we start now. And then Aaron's
sure.
like,
You start
yeah,
now.
and in millions of years, he goes, it's a play for the long game.
Long game. It's a long game.
Honestly, Dusty brought up that Waterworld
Yes.
reference so quick.
Yeah.
He
I
was
mean,
Yeah.
waiting, sitting
it's
on
like
it.
he watches that movie often. I was loving it.
More
I
than
was
most
having a
people,
good
'cause
time.
that movie did not have a very good
Having a good
rating
time.
overall
Oh, it
on Rotten
didn't.
Tomatoes.
I watched it. I don't know. I watched it on VHS. That's how old it is. I mean, I rented it years after it was in theaters. Watched it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This movie's great." I
I
enjoyed it.
remember. I remember my dad watching it in the living room. Memories,
Yeah,
And I was like,
Idiot.
"What the crap is this?" That's what I said.
yeah.
And I was 5 years old. I'm just kidding. But I do think Dusty and Nate's back and forth. Is it around this time when they start talking about all this?
It's after the difference between the asteroid and meteor.
Oh well, just go have fun with that. I'll just sit out and wait till I want to say this.
Matt, that's all you, man.
All right. So, did you guys know what the difference between an asteroid and a meteor
No,
was?
nope, not a
No.
chance.
No, but nobody knows the difference.
Yeah. Apparently, an asteroid is like a big rock object in outer space, and a meteor is what happens whenever part of it breaks off and starts coming to Earth. So the
An asteroid,
meteoroids,
an asteroid is what you get in trouble for saying because it sounds like a cuss word. And a
yeah,
meteor is how you want your steak. Meteor.
and I'm the dad here. Okay,
I'm out.
he just elevator down, I think. So no, actually, I
I would
think it.
assume that a meteor is bigger because it's meteor, you know? But
Nah.
apparently that's not the case.
No. So you have the asteroid, and then when part of it breaks off, it's actually called a meteoroid. And then when
Mm.
that comes into our atmosphere and is like burned up a little bit, then it's a meteor.
Mm.
When is it a
So it
meteorite?
should be when it's uh just
What's a
hanging down
comet?
at the bottom when it's growing up from the bottom.
What's a
Oh no,
comet?
I'm thinking of stalagmite.
That's a
Never mind.
stalagmite. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
When it's growing up from the
stalactites hold
bottom,
up tight to the
when
ceiling.
it's in floating in space, it's growing up from the bottom.
The bottom of space.
What's that's what I thought he was saying. What's a comet? What's a comet?
Yeah,
A
what's a comet,
comet is
Matt?
like that's what we read through at the beginning of the podcast.
I knew you were going to say
I
that.
knew
Oh my
I knew that
gosh.
was coming, but it just goes to show
Golly.
you
You
don't know
can't
what a comet is.
set me up like that. A
So a
comet
comet,
is
cosmets are cosmic snowballs of frozen gases, rock, and dust that orbit the sun. When frozen, they're the size of a small town. When a comet orbits close to the sun, it heats up and spews dust and gases into a giant glowing head larger than most planets.
So an
hmm,
so a comet is bigger than a meteor
And
because
an
a
asteroid.
meteor is a piece of a comet.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
But like, who cares about this? You know what I mean?
No, a meteor is a piece of an asteroid. A comet, I don't do comets come into
It says
our
in your
atmosphere?
words what you put in the notes. It says a meteor is what happens when a small piece of an asteroid or comet
Or comet.
Oh, okay.
called a
Yeah, I just copied and
meteoroid.
pasted that. I don't remember
What are
from
we
what
doing?
source.
Your
Probably
own
from that
words in your
What are
Slate's
we
handwriting. It
place.
doing?
says
My handwriting. My handwriting
And this is
is
why Matt is not
Arial
mentioned in
11
the
point
description of
font. Then
YouTube.
yeah.
all right. Are dinosaurs real? Let's just talk about it.
Let's talk about did dinosaurs live among humans?
All right, if you must.
Well, did they?
I don't know. Anyway, are dinosaurs real? That's
No.
really the question.
What are your thoughts?
Well, we had some good thoughts from some folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did the folks say?
Well, I gotta find it. Dang it! I thought I had it. Let me see. I think I do have it. Somebody had a really good response. I think it was Jesse Rothhacker
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he said he
because I
sums it up
asked this
nicely.
question.
Yeah.
Huh?
It says Jesse Rothacker sums it up nicely.
Is it
You
in
want
the
me to read it?
notes?
Yeah, you want me to read
I
it?
couldn't find it.
Obviously, they're real, and there's a lot we do know about them, but there's a lot we don't know about them. I agree with Nate and Dusty when they're skeptical of all these claims of hundreds of millions of years and other tiny details. I think too many science people treat educated guesses as facts, when in reality, there are some things we know and many things we are guessing based on a tiny amount of evidence. And then the next science person starts treating the first round of guesses as facts. They begin building additional theories based on the theories based on the theories. If one theory is wrong, the whole house of cards comes crashing down. Yes, dinosaurs are real. No, I don't believe every detail the experts claim to know about them.
I love it. I think I agree with
No.
Jesse Rothhacker.
I think it's a good one.
I love that he calls scientists science people, though.
Yeah.
The science people. Them, the others.
Those guys.
Bunch of hacks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't think that I really care too much about it because, like, it doesn't
'Cause it
really
doesn't
affect me if
affect you.
dinosaurs are real or not,
Man,
you know?
doesn't
like-
change my day to day life.
When you're GPSing to work, you're not having to like make sure you
Avoid
have not just
dinosaurs.
traffic
Like,
alerts, but dinosaur
Stegosaurus
alerts as well.
bones. Stegosaurus in the way.
There may be some Stegotauruses out there.
Maybe you take a detour to the Stega Forest. You never know.
Oh, it's just Stega old.
It kind of reminds me of oh man, Matt, what was that TV show that you watched growing up with the cavemen who used the dinosaurs?
You talking about the Flintstones?
Flintstones. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
What? You didn't
Kinda
watch
like
that,
lit-
Aaron? I mean, Chad?
No.
You, Aaron.
Oh my gosh.
No, Nate, I did not watch that. No, I did. I remember
Goodness.
the real life version that came out when I was like a kid. With like the real people.
That was a good
and stuff.
movie.
Yeah, it was pretty.
What was
I liked
that?
that
Land of the
movie.
Lost or something?
No,
Land
it was the
Before Time?
Flintstones.
You talking
It
about
came out in
Land Before Time?
1994. Literally.
Oh, you're talking
year
about
I
the
was born.
movie. The
That's
movie
what I said.
with John,
With
I thought
John
you said
Goodman.
the TV show. John
No,
Goodman
I said the
and
I said the movie.
Rick Moranis and Rosie O'Donnell, and I figure he played Wilma.
It was
Diane from Cheers, right?
Elizabeth Perkins played
Oh
Wilma.
no, that's
But it
way
was
off.
it was John Goodman. Yeah, it
Rick
was a
Moranis
good
played
movie.
Barney. Yeah,
So that would be an example of like if we did live hand in hand with dinosaurs, they would work in the construction sites and
Yeah, that
we
cartoon
wouldn't need
is an
excavators
example.
anymore. We could just use a Triceratops.
Why
Triceratops.
is Jurassic Park not an example?
That's a stupid example. Anyway, moving on.
So here's
I loved when Aaron said, like, very matter of factly to, I think it was to Brian, he was like, no, if dinosaurs were here, we would have to contain them. Like, he was like, no, we would have to, couldn't just let them run loose. We got to have them. And then
Yeah, kids be
Nate's
going
like,
all
"You're
willy
gonna put 'em
nilly.
in a cage? What are you going to do?"
yeah.
He said,
No, it was
"No, you're going to put them in a fenced-in area." And then they were like,
it was Nate who was arguing that, and Brian was like, "No, we do like an electric fence, like Jurassic Park." And then Nate said something. He was like, "Yeah, like Jurassic Park."
we all saw
Yeah,
how
but
that
Jurassic
went.
Park didn't work
Well,
out.
for them.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them at all.
Did we learn nothing from Jurassic Park?
Exactly.
Yeah, got to learn from the past, you know.
Have you
I
been
do
on
like how
the...
Nate
Jurassic-
referenced. Oh
Go
my
ahead.
gosh. They're talking about how like
What
Nate
happened?
references-
Was she interrupting you?
Oh my god!
I was just going to say, have you been on the Jurassic Park ride?
No.
It's really good.
We're not all Disney princesses, so we don't get perks.
True.
I would hope not. Now, Disney's taking a turn, and I don't like it. I'm just going to say that right now.
All right. So, Chad, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say, Nate brings up. Y'all know how he went on a rant. Man, it was in one of the early episodes. Matt, you might know which one. talking about he hates how they just keep making sequels of sequels of sequels.
Yeah. Oh, that's like
Yes.
several episodes he does
Yeah.
that.
But then
Transformers.
he brings
goes
up
all
here
that.
the new Jurassic Park coming out. He goes, "Well, it's fine if they're making sequels of movies that I like."
I like,
It's like,
yeah. Like
here we go.
Scream and Jurassic Park.
Here we go.
That's why Nate is every one of us, because we're all like that. We're like, you can't do
It's
it,
true.
but I
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
All right, you were gonna say some science stuff or something, huh? Nate?
Yeah. So this is my take on the dinosaurs are real thing.
Oh, I don't really want to know about that. So anyway,
You don't? It's really good. So
Chad doesn't want
here,
your dinosaur theories brainwashing him. Okay.
kind of similar to what Jesse Rothacker said about how, this theory is based on this theory, and if one's wrong, the whole house of cards falls. And what you were talking about um, the information we get today is, if you'd have said that 3 months ago, you'd have been kicked off of social media or whatever, because
What I
it's all
said.
changing. You said that
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
I said a couple.
he was giving you
things
credit, Jen.
I'd get kicked
He was
off.
being nice to you.
Yeah.
No, I was just pointing out. I've said a couple of things I think I get kicked off social media for.
Yeah. So anyway, so that kind of thing, basically, scientists learn new stuff every day. About every, what they know today, half of that 50 years ago was, they've debunked, or let me back up. What they said 50 years ago, about half of that has all been debunked today. And Pluto used to be a planet, right? And now it's not. So my very excited mother didn't just serve us 9 pizzas.
What?
The acronym for remembering the planets. Now it's
I never heard that in my life.
my very excited mother just served us 9 pizzas.
I thought you were like, that was like breaking news at your house. Like you were saying, like.
No, that's the acronym for. That's the educational acronym for remembering the planets. Now it's like my
Never
very
heard
excited
that,
mother
ever.
just served us nachos, because Pluto's not a planet anymore. Drives me nuts. And so it's like, come on. So we're supposed to believe whatever.
I don't even believe that acronym was really taught.
Well, I'm sorry you didn't go to a good school with decent education.
It's Mississippi,
She grew up in Mississippi.
Yeah. She probably came across this acronym and she was like, "Mama, you serving us pizzas? Mama."
Oh my gosh, it's dead.
No,
it's not funny
it's
anymore.
Mama.
So, and then you take all that and you think about, okay, so how did the dinosaurs get wiped out? A bunch of asteroids came and just plummeted the Earth and wiped it all out.
Meteorites. We talked about this. There was meteors.
But hey,
Well,
if that's
maybe
true,
it was a meteor, maybe it was an asteroid that did
if
the thing.
that's
So,
true, wait, if that's
Yeah.
true, how come that hasn't happened recently?
that's what I was about to say. That's it. If you would have read my notes,
I
then
beat you
would
to
know.
it. I didn't even read what you
Stole
wrote.
my thunder.
No, I didn't even read
Anyway.
this.
So yeah, that's the thing. Why did the asteroids just stop plummeting to the Earth and crashing down? Why aren't they still taking us out today? So
Because of global warming.
you would think,
Like a force
if anything,
field,
they'd be able to get into the atmosphere easier, because we've gone to outer space and we poked
gone up.
through, and so
True.
you know,
Poke the
just
hole.
come through there. Just when they're orbiting the Earth, just comet through there.
But doesn't it like fill back up? How does that work? How does the atmosphere ozone layer work?
Did you just ask me? You basically just said, "What is blood pressure?" I think. And to your point, I don't know how it works.
No, thank
there's
you very much.
there's different layers of gases and stuff.
I'm just
in
saying, like, you
outer
don't like
space.
puncture
There's
the
space
atmosphere
layers.
when you're in like a rocket.
Yeah, that's why there's a hole in the ozone layer from all the hairspray.
From all the hairspray.
Yeah, you can't have aerosol hairspray.
How do you
Okay.
know there's a hole in the
Okay,
ozone
We're
layer?
going.
Ruins
Okay,
the
so
ozone layer.
here's a
So-
question. Here's a question.
So your global warming, that's a big thing today, is my ozone layer hole. When I was a kid, it was all about the ozone layer. We got a hole
Matt,
in the
What are we
ozone.
talking
Can you
about?
please
And that's
not
all they
talk
talked
about your
about.
ozone
So-
layer hole on here? This is a clean
We're
podcast.
Oh my goodness.
So at the end of the day, the big question I got from this is spoon or shovel? Which one would you rather have, a spoon or a shovel? That's really.
What
How
are we
big's the
doing?
bowl
Are
of
we eating
cereal?
ice cream? Or are we digging a hole?
What if the answer is yes?
To both?
Yeah, like you can only choose one for the rest of your life. You can either have a spoon or you can have a shovel.
I'd take
For
a
the
spoon.
rest of my life?
Yeah.
Shovel.
I'd take a spoon. I'll pay somebody else to dig the holes. I've heard Nate's
Wow,
new
we've
bits.
got a controversy here. So Matt goes spoon, Jen goes shovel.
Yeah, because
Have you
why
ever
would
tried to
Why?
dig a koi pond, Jen?
No. Why would I settle for a spoon when I could have the whole shovel? And now I can just I can just do my soup like this. I can do my ice cream like
So
this.
Jen's point is she doesn't even need a bowl anymore because she can put it all on the shovel.
All on the shovel. If I needed a
That's
fork,
kind of smart,
I still
actually.
have that.
You don't need anything. Then you could just pick the bowl up. You don't
Exactly.
Even need to. You're gonna pour it out of the
Foods are
bowl onto the shovel
irrelevant.
and then into your mouth. That makes
But
Yeah.
now her bowl can also, yeah. Well, that's fair. So Matt, why
Anyway.
spoon?
Because I'll pay somebody else to use the shovel.
Because Matt's never
I don't want
done
to be out there
manual
digging the
labor.
hole.
Matt's never done manual labor.
I don't want to be out there
Maybe.
digging holes, man.
Put your hands up
What's
to the
that?
screen. I bet they're real smooth.
Did you say
huh?
look it?
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
Oh my
she's like,
gosh.
look
Isn't
it.
it like a northern thing?
She was in Illinois for a while.
Anyway, so
6
all
months.
that to say, I don't necessarily know, but I lean toward the dinosaurs are fake side of things.
Oh, here it comes, folks.
You're gonna call a hummingbird a dinosaur or a lizard a dinosaur?
What do you
Come
do
on.
about what do you do about the
Silly.
bones in the fossils? How do you just
Alright.
think that's all made up?
They're all pieced
What's the
together. We
point
don't know
of
how they're pieced
dinosaurs
together.
being made up? How does that benefit anybody if dinosaurs are made up? Fossil fuel, where'd that come from, and what is it?
I
don't
would
know.
I would answer this, but I don't think you can handle my answer, Jen.
Oh, I want it.
I would.
Bring it on.
And we probably would get kicked off of YouTube. That's not true. It's not that bad.
Nobody's watching.
So
this
no,
on
I'm just
YouTube.
saying. Look, it's an unpopular stance. I fully understand that, but in 50 years, when all the scientists change their minds, and I've been saying, yeah, dinosaurs aren't real, and then all the house of cards crumbles, guess what? I'm going to look like a genius. It's the
Well,
long
not
game.
if you don't share your theory. Then people are just going
I've said they're not real.
yeah, but why are
Yeah.
they not real? You got to have evidence.
I think the
Yeah.
burden of proof is on you to prove that they are real. I don't have to prove anything.
Well, you can't just come out here and be like, dinosaurs aren't real.
I
'Cause
did.
That's what I think. 'Cause I
Okay,
said
guys,
did.
let's hone it back in here. Let's hone it back in. Back to the podcast.
All
back
right.
to the podcast.
Marco!
Polo!
Scusa? Ma io sono Marco Polo, ma
That was so
Okay.
funny.
Matt!
That was
He was like, wait, Marco
say
Polo is one
Matt!
guy? Oregon.
There you
his
go.
thing. He was like Dusty Slay. He was like that actually kind of works. He's like, but you,
works so good.
but you could be like Nate Bargatze.
That's if I was going to his show like this weekend, oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh,
I would
100%.
definitely I would
100%.
find somebody sitting on the other side before I'd be like,
Nate
all right, when he comes
Bargatze.
out, I'm gonna yell Nate and you yell Bargatze.
But you got to yell it
That'd be
at
so
him
funny.
and see if he yells it back.
I don't think he would.
That-
I don't think it would
The
click in
whole
his
crowd to
mind
do
as
it.
he's coming down on the stage.
Yeah,
Maybe if we do it enough.
I did
he,
it.
he has a
I
lot
did
of other
it
things
with
going on.
all of our names earlier when I was at Chick-fil-A waiting for my food. And all of our names check out. I think it works.
See, here's how I know that you're lying is because you're not in the Chick-fil-A line long enough to do all three of our names.
It's true. They're so fast.
Are you kidding me? It was always a long
Shout out
line.
to Chick-fil-A. Oh, that's
Yeah, but
right.
it's
You
fast.
are actually in it. You're actually in the
Capital.
motherland. So
Yeah.
yeah,
The
the
Mecca.
capital of Chick-fil-A.
You like that?
It's true.
Mecca of Chick-fil-A.
As Matt said earlier.
I thought that
How
you said
about-
capital made sense since you're the president, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can say Mecca.
How
if you
about
want.
that? The fact that Nate thought that 1750 BC
Oh, man.
was
What was?
I
Did
was
you just?
dying laughing at that
Did
part.
you? What did you just say, Matt?
I just laughing. Don't worry about what I
He's
said.
Louise over here.
Oh my gosh. He was
70,
like,
1750 BC, was before before 1800, and I was like, no, it wasn't. It was
I
after.
gotta be honest. I didn't
Oh.
catch it the first time. It
oh,
was probably the
Really?
second or third time I watched it.
so funny.
And I also
He was
think
like,
Nate
yeah.
like
It's 'cause you were
realized after he
driving.
said it. You know,
Oh no, I think he knew. I think he knew
I don't know if he
immediately.
did.
I think he did.
you think so?
He's a lot sharper than you give him credit for.
Well, fair,
Maybe not
but
you, but the
yeah,
proverbial you.
the general public, yeah,
Yeah. The royal you.
Which I did think he made a lot of really great points in this episode. I was like, look at him.
Yeah.
I don't know if that says something about me or something about him, you know?
I will say that this episode he avoided going on like an extensive rant.
Yeah. He must have had a good lunch.
Yeah, it wasn't like I'm frustrated with something rant. He
Yeah.
did kind of rant, but it was like in conjunction, like him and Dusty were playing off of each other, going,
Yes.
that whole thing, which was hilarious.
Guys, I gotta ask, what is Aaron versus Monkey?
Oh man, well Dusty made the comment at the end. He was talking about they were discussing how humans have the upper hand against monkeys, and Nate's like, yeah, because we can like travel, and Dusty's like, yeah, technology wise, but he's like, if it was you and a monkey in this room, like who are you gonna take? And I was like, I'm going monkey. Like I'm taking monkey over Aaron every time if they're locked in a room to fight it out.
Yeah.
No offense,
but over the course of time,
Guys, monkeys are real funny though. Like the way they move and the way they do this whole thing,
So are you saying that a monkey would be a better comedian than Aaron? Is that what you're saying, Jen?
If that's what you heard, I think that's what you might think. You might be projecting,
The monkey probably would use as many props, but maybe.
A banana. And he'd know how to open it.
Yeah, that's fair.
People are watching.
Man, the dinosaur clothes.
I was reading through all our stuff to see if there's something we missed.
The dinosaur clothes bit was pretty funny. Like, well, this is a hand-me-down. My brother had feathers, so that's why it's kind of looser.
I love
like
when you said
I had triangles all up and down my back. My brother was a
stole
stegosaurus. Well, you're not reading it, Jen. You gotta get this thing moving.
I just want everybody to know that I had triangles.
That's what happened here?
Triangles on my shoulder. My older sister had, so
that's good.
Happens.
That's good.
Goodness.
I do have to say
I'm
that
with you, though.
all the dinosaur stuff, it's probably no surprise to you guys because you just heard me talk. But it was kind of news to me, a lot of it. I never heard dinosaurs had feathers. I never heard that stuff about global warming. Like,
yeah.
I didn't know about the feather thing, but I'm not on Reddit a lot.
I guess I just thought that.
Guess where somebody learned something about that.
From?
Yeah, that's where you learn things like that, right? You're not talking about that on
maybe
Inside the NBA.
Maybe.
We'll see. But it's episodes like this though that kind of almost confirm that this truly is in a weird way an educational podcast.
Yeah, you get educated.
I love that Brian
you get
wants
exposed.
It
to be... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying I love that Brian wants it to be an educational podcast. Like at the end, he's like, thought we would talk about science a little more,
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, this did not go at all how I had envisioned.
Like, where has he been the last 80 whatever episodes?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like this episode for us guys,
Yeah.
I think Dusty said, what did you think it would be?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
Dusty's like, that's exactly how I thought this would go.
And then, which made me want to bring up also at the end when Dusty says something about 1969, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it was a great
Yeah.
year. This. Charles Manson killed everybody." And it was like,
That was
what?
bad news
Bad
Dusty
news,
right there. Let me
Dusty.
tell you.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, because that was a reference to it was the figurines could have either been created in 2500 BC
Oh yeah.
or 1969.
Yeah.
And Dusty was like, "Yeah, that means we got them off the moon because that's the year that we went to the moon."
Guys,
And Charles Manson killed everybody.
there was a picture of someone's art in this artist group that popped up. I kid you not. When after listening to this, that looks like the dinosaur person crossbreed thing.
You're talking about Groot?
Oh, it's not
Looks
Groot.
like. I mean, what I can see from your phone. Maybe
someone's
just send that to
sculpture.
Chad and he can put it in the.
That's very Grootish
Yes.
for sure.
It was like crazy timing. I was like, this looks just like the little picture they showed of the half dinosaur, half human person.
Yeah.
This was
The
just
alien?
made recently, so how do you know what's real, folks?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I definitely looked into see if me and my wife could go to the Can't Believe It's Not Better Brian Bates stand up.
Where is it?
It's in Orlando, is what he said.
Mm. I gotta say,
But-
like, I saw that a while back. I saw Brian post
yeah?
it, and I
Yeah.
almost commented on one of the episodes with like a screenshot of it, roasting him. And he did it first, and I'm so upset. I should have done
Well,
it.
it sounds like you had several months to do that, Jen, and you never did. So
Sounds like a lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, these things happen.
what
All right, well, I think that's
is,
it.
Sit around and make a
is that
podcast
it?
instead.
Yeah. Is that it?
I think that's it.
I think we did it.
Wrap it up.
Wrapping it up, folks. Chad,
So,
you gonna be? You got any shows this week or?
Yeah, I teach a Sunday school community group class at 9:45 on Sunday.
Okay.
Then 6:30 on Wednesday nights. Come see
You
me.
want to tell the people where they can go to see that? Chad's Church, everybody.
Chaz Church.
Matt, you're
Use
preaching
code
anywhere? You got
Chaz
something
Church at Chaz Church / Chad for 10% off your tithe. Yeah,
10% off your
I'm
tithe.
preaching the next 3 weeks, different places. So yeah,
Look at you.
it'll be something.
I'll be bringing the word in the kids' church. Can I get an amen?
Okay.
Amen.
Atta girl.
Amen.
Well, let's go, folks.
Yeah. Well,
Let's go, folks.
hang on. Wasn't there something else we were going to talk about at the end?
Nope. Bye, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
What was it? There's going to say something.
It's over.
Something, weren't we?
Just let it lie.
Is it over?
We've surpassed. No one's watching anymore.
Hang on. I think I
Now we're just watching
messaged it to you.
Matt read to himself.
Just watch me. Oh, we're talking about we need to tell them where they can find us. They can find us wherever. Find us on anywhere you find your podcast. You can find us as long as you find your podcast on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm glad we stuck
For now.
around for that.
Oh,
Let's
That
go,
was a
folks.
waste of.
well, you weren't helping me
Goodbye.
out with what we were supposed to think about. All right,
Anyway.
I've enjoyed it. Enjoy your time. Thank you, guys.
Same time next week.
Go, folks.
Let's go, folks.